Hi, myself Dr. Supriya Deshmukh. Today let's talk about sunscreens. Now this topic of sunscreen always hots up during summer season. But believe me, summers is not the only season to use sunscreens. Sunscreen should be used year round, even in rainy seasons. Yes, even in rainy seasons, 50% of the radiation from the sun reaches the earth's surface. Now why is sunscreen important? Well, to start with, the UV rays have a lot of radiation which is in the form of UVA and UVB, which really does a lot of harm to unprotected skin. Now what is the harm that happens? So there are harm right from ranging from skin wrinkles, pigmentation, tanning. There are a lot of people who even face a lot of sunburn and skin allergies because of sun, which is also called as photodermatitis. Ultraviolet radiation can also lead to skin cancer, especially in fair skinned people. Hence, it's extremely important that you use sunscreen year round. Now, if you are a typical working individual who leaves home in the morning and comes back directly in the late evening or night, then even if you use sunscreen once a day and the rest of the part, if you are indoors, then you can just apply it once and that should be enough. But if you're a professional or a person who is constantly on the move and keeps on going out in the sun frequently, then yes, the sunscreen needs to be applied every 2 to 3 hours. There are many sunscreens which are available in the market, which many of them are good. The only thing that you need to understand is just having SPF in your sunscreen is not enough. Most of the brands will claim of SPF 50, of SPF 70, even SPF 90. But believe me, being with an Indian skin, we don't really need that much of an SPF. SPF 30 is the minimum possible protection that we need. However, if you have some skin conditions like photoallergy or you have very severe pigmentation on your face, then definitely you should have sunscreen which is more than SPF 50. Now SPF is called a sun protection factor, which is basically protecting you against the UVB radiation from the sun. Now this radiation is just 5% of the entire total radiation. The remaining 95% of the radiation is UVA. Now this particular radiation is the one that does more harm. That means more wrinkles and more amount of pigmentation. So we need an sunscreen that will protect us from the UVA rays too. That's why you need to look for a sunscreen that will have PA, that is one of the Japanese scale of measuring superiority of sunscreen, or else a boot star rated sunscreen. It has to be at least minimum boot star 4 and PA triple plus. That is a good measure or a good sunscreen that will protect you against UVA radiation as well. Okay. Now many people will say me that the sunscreen is very sticky, or when I apply sunscreen I look very dark. Now you need to understand that there are various formulations in sunscreen, like there are gel sunscreens, there are lotions, there are creams, there are even sunscreens which are silicone based, which feel extremely matte and powdery to apply. So there are various formulations. In consultation with a dermatologist, you can make a good choice as to which possible sunscreen is best suited for your skin. If you have an oily skin and if you're prone to acne, then you should use a sunscreen that has a matte finish. So basically go for sunscreens which are silicone based or gel based. Now sunscreens claim to be non-comedogenic nowadays, but there are still some people who still get breakouts of acne in spite of using non-comedogenic sunscreens. You will basically need to try out a few brands before you really settle onto one. Especially women who are having dry skin or they have sensitive skin, or women in the age group from 40 to 50, they can go for lotion or cream based sunscreens because they will also moisturize their skin along with protect them from the UV radiation. But typically young people should go for gel based sunscreen. It is extremely important for kids also to apply sunscreen because it's important that we protect their skin early on from the damages of UV radiation. But with children, the sunscreens to be used should be physical sun blockers. Okay, now the sunscreen are physical as well as chemical. Chemical sunscreens basically absorb the UV rays like a sponge, as compared to physical sunscreen which reflect the UV radiation back into the atmosphere. kids should be avoiding chemical sunscreens. They should basically stick to physical sunscreens, which contain two very important ingredients, which is zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. So if you're looking out for a sunscreen for your child, make sure that the sunscreen contains only zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. Hi, myself Dr. Supriya Deshmukh. Today let's talk about sunscreen. So many people ask me as to what is the right amount of sunscreen to be used. There is a lot of confusion over this. So just to make things simple, you have to pump out amount of sunscreen which is equivalent to a 50 paisa coin over your palms. That is the quantity enough for your face and your neck. When you are covering your face and neck, make sure you're also covering the ears, because these again can get affected with sunlight. Another thing, if you are wearing an outfit where other parts of your body are exposed, then definitely cover those areas too. So normally if you're going out on a beach or if you're going to a poolside area, you need to have double protection. If you're not ready to wear clothes that are going to cover you, if you're going to wear a bikini or you're going to wear a swimsuit, then you need to use sunscreen on the entire exposed part of your body. So just to make things simple, I can tell you that a shot glass, right? So a shot glass full amount of sunscreen should suffice for your both arms and forearms, and similarly 1 shot glass each for your leg. If you are wearing a bikini, that is the amount of sunscreen you will require to be put. If you are out in the sun on the beach, then you need to apply it every 2 hours. Make sure you tan safely, otherwise you will be prone to a lot of other troubles, like you might get photoallergy, your skin might get burned. Even children have to be sunscreen when they go to the beach, or even when they are out in a swimming class. So make sure your kids are well sunscreened.